What's up, fam? Brandon Walker, more Cowbell, the Mississippi State podcast presented by SEC Country, coming to you from the beautiful SEC Country studios here in Dunwoody, Georgia. It is a day outside. It looks warm. Turp, we should go outside and just sit outside and have our lunch outside. Don't you think that'd be nice?
Let's do it. We should do the podcast from outside.
Turp's mom sent cookies today.
Thanks.
She sent cookies.
Thanks, Mom.
Yeah, thanks. Shout out to Turp's mom. So that is really thank you to Turp's mom for sending cookies. Actually, pretty good cookies, too. That was a really good cookie.
Probably the best cookie you've ever had.
I wouldn't say that.
What is the best cookie you've ever had?
I don't know, but I've had some damn good cookies. I'm not somebody who hasn't had a lot of cookies. I've had plenty in my life. Let's see who we got here. We got everybody filing in as we do more Cowbell today. We've got plenty to talk about. Mississippi State going to Jacksonville to play in the Tax Slayer Bowl. I'm going to call it the Gator Bowl, so just forget about that. I'm calling it the Gator Bowl. That's just how it's going to be from here on out because it's easier to say Gator Bowl. Tax Slayer Bowl sounds ridiculous. Now, that's where Mississippi State's going. Guess what, Turp? Guess what?
What?
I'm going there, too.
Am I going?
No,
Why
absolutely not.
Why not?
Like, you're the worst. I am going to Jacksonville to cover it. I guess I'll be writing some articles or something. I don't know. I don't know what they want me to do, but they are going to pay me to go down there and watch the bowl game. So I'm excited about that. Landshark made her debut yesterday. She and I did a video on the Mississippi State's page, and she was on camera.
How did it go?
It'll never happen again. It'll never happen again. She'll never be on my show. So that won't happen. Somebody says, "Are you surprised that Maiden is staying staying committed?" We'll talk about that today. I guess I'm not really all that surprised, but I am pleased with it. I'm very pleased. Hello from Natchez, Bubba Scott. Thank you for being here. Joshua Yeager says he wants me to plug his charter. I didn't know you had a charter, Joshua. Check Joshua Yeager's charter. They're going to be having a charter down to Jacksonville, and it looks like it's going to be cheap. Hail State on the road in Philadelphia. Are you feeling better? Thank you, Bonnie. And no, I'm not. I'm still under the weather. Didn't have a great weekend, but certainly had a weekend, and now we're back for more here on More Cowbell. Hello, Ringgold, Georgia. Proud of you for getting Landshark to ring a cowbell. She didn't do a very good job of it. That was an embarrassing ring of the cowbell. And she'll never touch that cowbell again, I promise you. And Bonnie, I just apologize for letting an Ole Miss graduate touch that cowbell. That's my mistake. I shouldn't have done that, and she totally embarrassed herself with it. How about the Green Wave? Yes. Point City, the number one team in the state of Mississippi. Wins state championship number 9. Destroyed Hattiesburg. Poor Hattiesburg. It wasn't their fault. They were a good team, but they were standing on the tracks and the train was coming through. Hello from Baldwin, Mississippi, up in Prentiss County, right on the Lee County line. One of my favorite pizza restaurants in the entire world is in Baldwin, Mississippi. It's called the Pizza Factory. I assume it's still there. I used to get a Works pizza from the Pizza Factory. It cost about $30, but really good. Yeah, expensive.
That's a pricey pie right there.
It is, but it was really good. I used to love getting it. Another one, hello from Baldwin. Why did we pin Shea White's comment?
I just saw that. I don't know why that's pinned.
I
didn't pin it.
Why did we pin hi from Baldwin, Mississippi? Who's running things over there?
Nothing back here.
So we'll talk. Hello, Senatobia. Hello, Corinth. So we will. Apparently, the Pizza Factory is still there. It's delicious. If you're ever in Baldwin and you want some pizza, go to the Pizza Factory. That's a free advertisement, Pizza Factory. Now, hello, Shirley in Ackerman. Simpson County is in the house. Shirley Rigby Sanders, thank you for being here. Bonnie Williamson Gable, a part of my soul died seeing a Landshark hold the bell, not going to lie. I'm sorry, Bonnie. I'm sorry. She will not hold it again. She will not hold it again. Pizza Factory is the best. I drive up from Saltillo to get that. I used to do that when I lived in Saltillo for 2 years, from 2010 to 2012. We would drive up because my wife's parents lived in Booneville, and we lived in Saltillo. And I would go to the Pizza Factory. Why am I talking about the Pizza Factory so much? We always get sidetracked on restaurants here. If somebody brings up a restaurant or a town with a restaurant, there I go. I can't be trusted with a mic. Can somebody unpin that hi from Baldwin, Mississippi comment? This is bothering me.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out.
Okay. Smokestacks at Pizza Factory are awesome. Tunica, Mississippi is here. Dakota Duck.
I unpinned it.
Thank you very much. Hello from Sewanee, Georgia, not very far, northeast of where we're sitting right now.
Hometown. Shout out.
That's where you're from?
Yeah.
Have we talked about this before?
Yeah.
Yeah, I ignore most of what happens with you. On today's show, we'll talk about Going to Jacksonville, we'll talk about the hammer that did not come for Ole Miss. We'll talk about Jalen Mayden sticking with his commitment. We'll talk about Dan Mullen reaching out to the Mississippi State fan base about a week too late. We'll talk about the undefeated basketball program in today's Top 5. We will talk about the top 5 bowls of my lifetime for Mississippi State. Are you ready, Terp?
Always.
You're not always ready.
I'm always ready.
You're not always ready.
Always ready.
Well, I'm ready. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go.
It's the More Cowbell Show, brought to you by SEC Country. And now, your host of the More Cowbell Show, Brandon Walker.
That's me, Brandon Walker. More Cowbell, the Mississippi State podcast presented by SECCountry.com, coming to you from the SEC Country studios with Terp and Landshark on the other side of the glass. Having a good time on this Monday afternoon. It's a nice Monday outside. I want to go outside and have a picnic, lunch. That's how nice it is. I understand it's going to get cold later in the week. The weather's going to turn. Yeah, I don't like that either. I hate cold weather. I much prefer hot weather to cold weather. I hate cold weather so very much. But it's coming, and we'll have to deal with it. Very quickly, let me say hello, More Cowbell listeners. You know, Hooters is your place for game day, but did you know Hooters now offers online ordering? In fact, they've teamed up with SEC Country to give you $5 off any order of $25 or more. It's simple to do. Just visit Hooters.com/to-go to place your order for the upcoming game. Make sure you use the promo code SECFans, that's one word, SECFans, to receive $35 off. Oh, I'm sorry, to receive $5 off any order of $25 or more. Orders must be placed online. We have a busy show today. We got a lot to get to. Mississippi State has its bowl destination. It is going to Jacksonville. It'll be going with a patchwork coaching staff, sure, but it's still going to Jacksonville to play the Cardinals of Louisville. We all know who is on that coaching staff. We'll talk about that shortly. We'll also talk about Dan Mullen reaching out to the Mississippi State fan base, I think about 7 days too late. We'll talk about 4-star quarterback Jalen Mayden of Saxe, Texas. He has decided he is sticking with the Bulldogs. That is great news. We'll talk about that. The hammer was supposed to come Friday to Ole Miss. It did not. It did not. That's like going to the store on Christmas Day in 1991 and thinking you're going to buy an MC Hammer tape and you buy Vanilla Ice instead. That's what happened. Very disappointing, but it is what it is. We'll talk about that a little bit. We'll talk about the undefeated Mississippi State basketball team, 7-0 now. I guess both of them are undefeated. I'm talking about the men's basketball team. Both won on Sunday, both on SEC Network, men's and women's basketball, still both undefeated. Today's top 5, the top 5 Mississippi State bowl games of my lifetime. Now, number 1, though, Mississippi State has its bowl destination. We know where we're going. It's not where I wanted to go. It's not where any of you wanted to go, let's be honest. I'm a State fan. You're all State fans. If you had your choice of bowls, you would not have picked Jacksonville, Florida. You would not have picked the Tax Slayer Bowl. That doesn't mean it's a bad bowl. It is not. 8-4 Mississippi State going to the Gator Bowl. And yes, I'm going to call it the Gator Bowl. I know it's the Tax Slayer Bowl, but I'm just going to call it the Gator Bowl because it's easier to say. I'm sorry. We all know it's the same bowl. So Mississippi State playing Louisville, a very interesting matchup. It's not probably not the sexiest matchup. Listen, I know where State fans are right now, all right, because I'm there too. State should be 9-3. State should be in the Citrus Bowl. That's where State should be. They should be playing Notre Dame in the Citrus Bowl, period. That's where State should be. That's who State was this year. But Dan Mullen laid an egg on his way out the door and lost to a very bad Ole Miss team. And he opened the door to South Carolina getting the Outback. South Carolina is a pathetic football team. They're awful. Mississippi State would beat them by 30. But South Carolina goes to the Outback, and Mississippi State goes to the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville. Now, I'm not pleased with it, but it is what it is. All right? It's very hard to even connect this bowl to the 2017 season. Because it feels like the 2017 season ended when State played Arkansas. Because Mullen completely checked out for the Egg Bowl. We lost the Egg Bowl. That kind of ruined what was going to be a very, very successful season. And now he's gone. We've got a new coach. Everything about the program has changed in the last week. Every single thing. It's hard for State fans to get excited about this bowl. I understand that, but I'll give you a couple of reasons. I think we have to look at this bowl as the first step, the first day, the first practice, whatever you want to call it, the first part of the 2018 season. Everyone who's going to be playing in this game will presumably be a part of the 2018 team, save a couple of players. You got Keaton Thompson, who is playing for the future. Everything he does right now is building to the future. You got Kylan Hill, everything he does right now, building to the future. So you got a lot of young players who can step up and play well in this bowl game. If we win, the opportunity is pretty good. Mississippi State has the opportunity to win this game, finish top 20, and come into preseason next year as a top 15 team in this country. With a brand new coach, a brand new philosophy, a brand new everything. This is the jumping off point for the Joe Moorhead era, even if he's not coaching in it. So we'll see how the players look. We'll see how the players react to going to Jacksonville to play Louisville. I know that the fans are suffering from a little bit of Jacksonville fatigue. Went there in 2010, went there in 2012, and now back there in 2017. But the players on this team have never played there. The players on this team have never played in that bowl. They've never played Louisville. So I expect the players to be very excited. And to a man, I think Mississippi State has better players than Louisville. Now, Louisville has the best player. There's no doubt about that. Playing a former Heisman Trophy winner, Lamar Jackson, probably a Heisman Trophy finalist again this year, is going to be daunting. And doing so without a defensive coordinator will be very, very tough. But hey, we played without a defensive coordinator before, 2016, the entire season. And that guy just happens to be in the booth for Louisville. Peter Sirmon, who single-handedly wrecked the 2016 Mississippi State season, has now single-handedly wrecked the 2017 Louisville season. Now, they finished 8-4, not 5-7. But still, every game they lost was because of a putrid defense brought to you by one of the worst defensive coordinators in the country. He coached at Mississippi State in 2016. Now at Louisville, so we get to face him. Boy, that's a great picture of Bobby Petrino right there. Thank you for that. Now at Louisville, so Mississippi State gets to face Peter Sirmon. That's definitely a subplot here. There is not, I can't really think of a coach that is more disliked or more reviled by a fan base than Peter Sirmon is Mississippi State. Going from Peter Sirmon to Todd Grantham is like going from Terp to me, all right? That's how big of an improvement it was. Todd Grantham was phenomenal this year. Now, he's gone too. And the coaching situation we'll get to. That's a very big issue for Mississippi State. But facing Peter Sirmon over this next 4 weeks as we get ready for this game will be a huge storyline. I know it's hard for State fans to get excited and pumped for this. I know. I understand that. But listen, December 30th in Jacksonville beats December 30th in a lot of places. It does. Jacksonville's a nice place. Jacksonville's one hell of a city. And let's not act like bowls like the Tax Slayer Bowl are really common in our history. We can't do that. So we can act like it's old hat, but it's really not. I'm going down there. I'm going to be there. I don't know about all you guys, but if you want to meet up with more Cowbell and watch one of our shows done live, you can come to Jacksonville because we'll be doing it. We will be there. It's also hard to get excited because of how Mullen left, laying the egg at the Egg Bowl. I understand that. Making us 8-4 instead of 9-3. This team should have been in a better bowl. This team should be in a better spot, but it's not. The reasons to be excited, I've already told you. Lamar Jackson facing Peter Sirmon. You know, the players getting this opportunity to get a jump start on 2018. But what will it look like on the coaching staff? I have no freaking idea. Greg Knox, the interim coach. Will Brett Elliott be calling the plays? Will Ron English be calling defensive plays? It will definitely be a patchwork coaching staff. And frankly, winning this game would be almost a minor miracle. If we can go down there without a coaching staff, let me put it like this. If we had to go into a game without a coaching staff and play anybody in the country, I'd pick I'd pick playing a team that has Peter Sirmon as its defensive coordinator. Because there were times in 2016 where I felt like I could take charge of some offense and score points against Peter Sirmon. So I think we're playing the right opponent. And I think there's plenty of time in the next 3 weeks for things to change at Louisville. Will Peter Sirmon be fired? Very possibly. Will Bobby Petrino move on somewhere else? Very possibly. I don't know. The next couple of weeks are very interesting to watch as far as this bowl game goes and the subplots. That's good water right there. So Dan Mullen, he left 8 days ago now. I got to be honest. I'm very surprised at how quickly I moved on from Dan Mullen. I guess it's due to the leadership of John Cohen. He quickly and decisively found Joe Moorhead. We have quickly and decisively moved on. Dan Mullen's moved on. It was about as quick a split as I can remember. I mean, look at Tennessee. They're 22 days into their coaching search. Arkansas is, 14 days into its coaching search. And we moved on very, very, very quickly. But Dan Mullen took out an ad in the Clarion Ledger on Sunday. He and Megan Mullen, I assume they pooled their resources together and paid for it out of her part-time job or something. I don't know. Maybe she babysits on the weekends. I don't know how they got the money to afford it. But Dan Mullen took out a full-page ad in the Clarion Ledger. Now, number one, if you ever want to hide things from Mississippi State fans, the smart thing to do is put it in the Clarion Ledger. That's where nobody will see it. However, it was a nice gesture, I guess. I don't know. It didn't do much for me. I'm a State fan, you're State fans. It didn't do much for me. I don't think most of the fan base cared. I think the fan base is completely over Dan Mullen. And after 9 years, I didn't know that I would be able to say that after a week, but I think the fan base is completely done with Dan Mullen. This would have been a lot more well received if it had happened maybe 2 days after he left, if it happened as a grand gesture right when he was leaving, to say, leaving Mississippi State, it's been a home for me. I thank you, and it's been forefront in my mind. But to wait a week and to do it the way they did, I don't know. It just didn't matter. It didn't matter at all to me. The damage of Mullen not acknowledging State in the immediacy, in the immediate time after he left, really has already been done. And I don't know. It just didn't mean much to me. I didn't even read the whole thing. I read it. I looked at it. I saw their signatures. That's great. Oh, that's nice. But I'm done with Dan Mullen. You're done with Dan Mullen. And the majority of the fan base has completely moved on. Todd Grantham left the right way. He put out on Twitter a heartfelt message saying thank you to the community. We love the community. We love being there. We love the defense. We love the players. We love the fans. We loved everything about it. But I'm going to Florida. Todd Grantham left the right way. He sent that message out right when he was leaving. Dan Mullen didn't. Dan Mullen left the wrong way. And that's why he can take out 1,000 Clarion Ledger ads. He can take out 100 ads wherever he wants to, but it won't matter because State fans don't give a damn anymore. Jalen Maiden is a 4-star quarterback out of Sac City, Texas. And I learned how to say Sac City, Texas because somebody in Texas told me, and I'm very proud that I know how to say Sac City, Texas. I think it's in the Dallas Metro. But he's a 4-star who was obviously enamored with Dak Prescott, obviously enamored with Dan Mullen's quarterback coaching ability, and he committed to Mississippi State. And when Dan Mullen left, it is natural for fans to worry, who's going to go with him? Who's going to decommit? The 2019 quarterback commit, Jalen Jones, already decommitted. That's fine. But I'll admit to you, when Dan Mullen left, I immediately thought of Jalen Maiden, and I thought, well, he's going to go to Florida too. Not so fast. Jalen Maiden says he's sticking with Mississippi State. Jalen Maiden says he's riding with Mississippi State. That's who he's committed to. That's who he's staying with, and that is huge news. That is probably the biggest news of the weekend for State. Bigger than the bowl, bigger than Dan Mullen's full-page ad, bigger than anything. Jalen Maiden, the 4-star quarterback commitment out of Sac City, Texas, sticking with State is huge. It's huge for the future quarterback at Mississippi State. Lance Sharp, put something on the screen, please. I don't care. I don't care what it is. Put anything up. So Jalen Maiden sticking with Mississippi State is gigantic. I was worried he'd immediately go with Dan Mullen, but he says he doesn't like Florida like that. He says he ain't trying to study Florida. So great. This is the biggest news of the weekend. And he isn't the only one. You look down the list of Mississippi State's 2018 commitments, Malik Heath has already tweeted out family. Stephen Guidry, the 4-star out of Louisiana, played at Hines Community College as a receiver that we need desperately. He has already reaffirmed his commitment on Twitter. Marcus Murphy, the star, whatever you want to call him, at West Point, whether he's a DB, whether he's a wide receiver, whatever he plays in college, Marcus Murphy, probably the best player in Mississippi this year, certainly on the best team. They've all reaffirmed their commitments. It looks like this 2018 class is going to stay intact for the most part. I know Tyrese Ross, a 3-star out of Atlanta, Georgia, has already decommitted, but how many 3-star safeties can you add? Dan Mullen seemed to major in adding 3-star safeties. So I think you can absorb that blow. And it's very exciting to see that the 2018 class looks to be in good shape. If Joe Moorhead can walk in here and keep this class together, that is his first win as Mississippi State's head coach. If you can get through this relatively unscathed, the coaching change, that is huge. That is massive. And Joe Moorhead certainly charged with doing that. He's charged with keeping as many players as he can that he wants. I'm sure there are some that he looks at and might not want. So we'll see. But it starts at quarterback. It starts at Jalen Mayden. And keeping Jalen Mayden was huge for this team, huge for this program, huge for Joe Moorhead. I was very disappointed on Friday. You're listening to more Cowbell, the Mississippi State podcast presented by SEC Country. I guess I had built this thing up in my head. Look at all our nice fancy new graphics on the screen there. I guess I had built up the Ole Miss thing in my head that anything short of pure annihilation, destruction was going to be disappointing. But still, this was like farting into a hurricane. I mean, this did nothing. I mean, this was not much of a punishment at all. I mean, this was like a defendant coming into the courtroom and gently getting a tap on the wrist and saying, don't do that again. And I just was very disappointed with what the NCAA did. Now, Ole Miss fans are acting like it is the second coming of death. They're acting like they've been blown back to the Stone Age. Which, if they did get blown back to the Stone Age, that'd be good for them because it's the only time they ever won anything. Anyway, it was disappointing to me. I guess it's my fault. I played it up too much in my head, and I think I'm speaking for all state fans. Maybe we played it up too much. Maybe we expected too much of the NCAA. It's not like the NCAA has proven itself to be a mighty organization when it comes to justice. 13 scholarships over 3 years. I mean, that's nothing. 2-year bowl ban is significant. That is significant. That entire 2016 class will never go to a bowl because, the good ones will be gone pro in 2018. The bad ones will transfer. Even the good ones will transfer, some of them. Jay Patterson already said he's going to transfer. That doesn't mean much to me. That guy's he's not all that good. I won't call him a complete bust because he's okay, but he's also not a 5-star. He never should have been a 5-star quarterback, period. But the 2-year bowl ban is significant. Ole Miss fans are acting like it's the end of the world because they are contractually obligated to be fake at all times. Whatever reality is, they have to go the opposite way. So while this wasn't exactly the hammer, Ole Miss fans are acting like somebody stole their J. Crew catalog. It's rough out there. That'd be awful, wouldn't it, Land Shark? Somebody stole your J. Crew catalog? I guess everything's online now, but the 2-year bowl ban is big. The way to look at this is that the damage is already done. The damage was done by the investigation and not the punishment. The investigation itself was punishment enough. Hugh Freeze is gone. And I don't know how he got it. We'll talk about Hugh in a second. Hugh Freeze is gone. The NCAA investigation destroyed the 2017 and 18 recruiting classes. They had to hire Matt Luke, of all people. The damage is done. They've got an awful head coach, a couple of years of terrible recruiting, and you cut off recruiting to those people, it's like cutting off the flow of cookies to me. I mean, that's how big of a deal it is. Friday was just the cherry on top of an already delicious Sunday. I think I'll never forgive Dan Mullen for losing that game to Matt Luke. That's really all Ole Miss has right now is that Egg Bowl, and that's significant. I mean, they won the Egg Bowl. Damn it, Dan Mullen, why couldn't you have won that game on your way out the door? But the way to look at this is the damage is already done. And, it's definitely, the punishment was underwhelming to me. The punishment really didn't fit the crimes. I mean, 21 allegations, 15 level 1. I just don't see how the NCAA gives out less scholarships than there are level 1 violations. How do you give out 13 scholarships for 15 level 1 violations? That doesn't even make sense. But it is what it is. And I still think Ole Miss is damaged, heavily damaged. And I still think they'll be hurting for about 2 or 3 more years. So the damage has been done. Get that off my screen. What is that? I told you to put up pictures of Mississippi State and Ole Miss for the punishment. I didn't tell you to put that up. Let's move on to basketball. Mississippi State still unbeaten. The men's basketball team still unbeaten at 7-0. They beat Dayton last night. Dayton, not a very good team. I don't know. I think I'm accused of being a huge homer on this show. You guys think I see all the sunshine and everything. I don't see it with this basketball team, though. I know they're 7-0, but I'm just not feeling all that great about them. State beats Dayton at the buzzer. That's the second buzzer beater this year for Quindary Weatherspoon. Also had one against Jacksonville State, who we beat by 3. I'm just not sold on this team. I'm just not sold that the talent on this team is taking the steps forward necessary to be a tournament team. If I'm wrong, God, I want to be wrong so bad. I want to be wrong because Mississippi State basketball is my favorite thing in the world. But State's now 7-0. Hey, they played 7 games and won all 7. That's all you can ask right now, right? Quindary Weatherspoon with a late steal. He's clutch. He's always been clutch. That's who he is. I'm still not sold. I support the team, but I just don't see a tournament team yet. A couple of guys that do deserve to be called out. Tyson Carter is fantastic. Tyson Carter scored 35 last week. I think he had something like 17 yesterday. Tyson Carter is the best player on the team. Best scorer on the team easily. Maybe Quindary Weatherspoon's still the best player, but Tyson Carter, the best scorer. And if we can get other players, if you can get a Lamar Peters to break through like Tyson Carter, if you can get somebody else to join Tyson Carter breaking through this year, then you've got a nice team. But until I see that, I just don't know that the State's going to be ready for the SEC because the SEC is much better this year. Alabama's good. A&M's really good. Florida's really good. Kentucky's okay. Tennessee's pretty good. Auburn's getting better. It's going to be a tough SEC. Andy Kennedy still has a job somehow. It's going to be a very tough SEC, and I'm not sure we're ready for it. Hopefully we are. Hopefully my negativity is unfounded. I just don't see it yet. Today's top 5. Top 5 Mississippi State bowl games of my lifetime. Now, I don't know if this is our top 5 bowl performances. Generally, even when Jackie was going good, and maybe even now that Dan was going good, bowls just really haven't been our cup of tea. We haven't always just come out and looked all that great in a bowl game. Orange Bowl certainly wasn't that great. You know, Jackie lost, I think, his first 2 or 3 bowl games, maybe the first 3 or 4. No, he lost in 91, 92, 93. Finally beat Clemson, I think, in 99. Top 5 bowl games of my life. Number 5, 1999 Peach Bowl. Mississippi State goes 9-2. The year of the comeback, an unforgettable year. Gets shafted when it comes to bowls. Should have gone to the Outback, played Purdue and Drew Brees. But ends up going to Atlanta and playing Clemson. Not a very good team that year. State defense dominates, wins 17-7. It was the 10th win of the year, 10-2 for that team. It was a cherry on top of a really good year. Should have been in Outback, should have been in Tampa, but it is what it is. Number 4, Liberty Bowl 2007. None of us remember the Croom years fondly, and we shouldn't. However, this was a good day. UCF was Conference USA champions. They had Kevin Smith, who was going for the NCAA record in rushing yards. He did nothing against State's defense. I don't like the Croom years. I don't look back on that era fondly. However, the 2017 run to a bowl was fantastic in its time. It was great to experience. We hadn't seen a bowl game in the 2000s. State goes to Memphis, wins that game. Number 3, this one's a little outside the box, but 2013 Liberty Bowl. Not because beating Rice is anything special, beating them 44-7. Not because going to the Liberty Bowl is anything special at all. But it was the beginning. It was Dak's beginning. It was really his huge coming out party. Dak Prescott became a Heisman Trophy contender in 2014, went to number 1, and it started when he absolutely dominated Rice that day, 44-7. I think he ran for a touchdown, threw a touchdown, caught a touchdown. That was a glimpse of what we were going to see the rest of that year, 2014. Number 2, Orange Bowl 2014. Yes, we lost. Yes, Jeff Collins left. Yes, the defense looked terrible. But hey, it's the Orange Bowl. It was still an accomplishment to get there. It was still an accomplishment to get to a New Year's Six Bowl. Number 1, Gator Bowl 2010. We're back there this year to play Louisville, but Gator Bowl 2010, playing one of the blue bloods of college football, Michigan, 52-14. That was as thorough a whipping as Mississippi State ever handed out under Dan Mullen. They did it to Michigan on a grand stage, on a national stage. It was something to see. That team was very good at the end of the year, 9-4, finished top 15. A terrific win in the Gator Bowl. That's my top 5 bowl games of my lifetime for Mississippi State. Again, that top 5 list isn't that great. I want Joe Moorhead to completely rewrite this list over the next 3 or 4 years. For the podcast, I'll let you off here. I'm coming back to you Facebook Live. On the podcast, you've been listening to More Cowbell, the Mississippi State podcast presented by SEC Country. All right. Hey, Facebook Live. Hey, y'all.
Hey.
No, not
Hey.
you. Not you at all. Not you even a little bit. To 1975 Sun Bowl, Felker and Webb. Well, I was born in 1979, so it didn't qualify. However, I wasn't at the 1975 Sun Bowl. I'm sure it was wonderful. The Sun Bowl played out in Texas, I think. Is it played in El Paso? I think that's where the Sun Bowl is played. Why is basketball your favorite? Thank you, Jay Hammers, for that question. My mother, from 1988 to about 92, was Richard Williams' secretary. She handled Richard Williams' personal business, the basketball team's personal business. And I would go and I would hang out at the hump all day and I'd go run around, shoot. And I was inside that team and I just loved Mississippi State basketball from that moment. And it was fun. So I have a deep connection to Mississippi State basketball going back to when I was 9 years old. So that's why I love Mississippi State basketball. John Kelsey with his bowl game predictions. I'll just scroll down. I'll skip the others. Ginger Tuck says MSU softball is her favorite. Trying to get a shout out in Bulgaria. Hello, Adam Harper in Bulgaria. There's your shout out. Hail State. Really, Bulgaria. We have a guy in Dubai and a guy in Alaska. I hadn't seen Bulgaria yet, though. That might be one of our records. Tax Slayer Bowl, MSU 42, Louisville 24, says John Kelsey. Boy, I forgot the Snow Bowl. Son of a gun.
You did forget that one.
I forgot the Snow Bowl. My whole life is a lie. I knew I was forgetting a bowl. I knew it. I knew I was forgetting a bowl the whole time. That's awful. That's amateur. Landshark, put something on the screen. Damn it. That's okay. That's on me. All right. I dropped the ball. We'll be okay. Coming home for Christmas. Love the show, boss. Thank you very much. Derek Whitford was disappointed I missed the Snow Bowl. I don't care what you were disappointed in, Derek Whitford. All right? I don't care. I kind of care. I care a little bit. I care a lot. How is our baseball stadium coming along? I'm not sure. I'm not in Starkville. I'm sure there are pictures online that you can see. Any update on Moorhead's staff? No, we'll have to watch that over the next couple of days. I don't know who State's defensive coordinator is going to be. I don't know anything about that. Well, I'll find out when you guys find out. I heard Peter Sermon was fired. Is this true? I don't think it had happened before I came on the air. Now, if it's happened in the last couple of hours or last couple of minutes, maybe. But I don't think it's true. Are you checking that on Twitter there, Terp? What are you doing? Or are you just texting? Terp, we're doing a show over here.
I'm sending your podcast.
Thanks, buddy. You're the best.
I know.
Moorhead staff update. Guys, I don't have any updates on Moorhead staff. We'll find out when we find out. I don't have any updates on Moorhead staff. Why isn't Moorhead coaching the bowl game? Because it's not enough time to get a system in, and he is focusing on recruiting and other things, building his program. The basketball team is inconsistent. The basketball team is inconsistent when it comes to three-point shooting. Yeah, they've been bad so far. Tyson Carter's really good, but Peters has been bad. Stapleton's been bad. A lot of the guys have been bad. I think we're a better shooting team than we've showed so far. I think we're in the 300s right now as three-point shooting. But I think we're a lot better than we've shown, so hopefully that comes up. Living in Anniston, Alabama, I hear I didn't see that. Sorry. Good to see the quarterback from Texas is staying. Thank you, Joel Edwards. Yeah, that's good. Jalen Maiden staying is a breath of fresh air for Mississippi State. Keeping any four-star commitment is good, but keeping a four-star quarterback commitment is a double win for Joe Moorhead. It looks like Joe Moorhead's really getting out there and getting these recruits who might have been wavering or or we might have thought about could go to Dan Mullen. He seems like he's getting out there and really working on the recruiting trail. That's a good sign. That's a very good sign. We're undefeated at the moment, so it shouldn't matter, says Timothy Giles. No, I mean, it doesn't matter for the 7 games we've already played because we won those games without shooting well, but you're not going to win very many games in the SEC shooting as poorly as we've shot from three-point range. If Keaton Thompson shows out in the bowl game, will we have a quarterback battle? We will not. No, Nick Fitzgerald, the unquestioned starting quarterback for 2018. I don't think there's any doubt about that. And no matter what happens with Keaton Thompson, I want him to throw for 300 and run for 200, but I don't think there's going to be a quarterback battle even a little bit. Can't blow a 21-point lead against anybody. That's what we did against Dayton. Although, can you say we blew it? Because we did win the game. So we were able to get it back and win. State wins. State 7-0. We'll see what it means going forward. I'm going to have Neil Price on the show on Wednesday. Neil Price, the play-by-play announcer for Mississippi State football and basketball, and we'll talk about his first year in football, what it was like. So if you have any questions for Neil Price, go ahead and hit me up on Twitter at bwalker_SEC, and I'll get those questions to him. I'm also going to talk to Richard Williams, the color analyst for Mississippi State basketball, and see if he'll come on the show. Again, I go way back with Richard Williams. Hopefully he'll come on the show. If he doesn't, I will cry a lot. I'll be very embarrassed. That'll hurt my feelings tremendously. You ever seen a grown man cry, Landshark? Because it would happen. Lamar Jackson isn't playing in the bowl game. When did this come out? When did this come out? Unless it's come out in the last 2 hours, Lamar Jackson's on record of saying he is going to play in the bowl game. Did you have Matt White on yet? Hope I didn't miss it. I've had Matt White on about 3 or 4 times this season. I might have him on again in the next. I was supposed to go on head-to-head radio Friday. I was supposed to go on head-to-head. He said, be ready Friday, and then Ole Miss's sanctions came out. And for some reason, they bumped me off the show. What kind of BS is that? I'm Brandon Walker. We had a good crowd there. Thomas Swafford says for the basketball game. I'm not heard anything about Lamar Jackson, says Jay Hammers, and Sermon is still on staff. Michael Wright says, nice haircut, Brandon. Thank you very much. I am looking good today, aren't I? What? Do you have something to say? Why are you guys laughing?
Nothing. Don't worry about it.
You're both laughing.
Don't worry about it.
Got those ears lowered. That's what people say when you can't really use that analogy with me, though, because getting my ears lowered would involve a lot of heavy equipment. See those cranes over there? We'd have to bring them in. On Out of Bounds show, they said that agents are telling him not to play. Well, that's Bo Bounds' show, and that's Bo saying that. I think Lamar Jackson's going to play. So go bother Bo with that, because I think Lamar Jackson's going to play. He's going to try to go out on the right foot. You need a basketball on the desk now. I do have a game-used basketball from the 96 Final Four. I could put it right here. That is a good idea. I also need a Christmas tree. Where can I get a tiny Christmas tree, Terp? Like a tiny tree, like this tall.
I'm down.
No,
that's very big. It's not tiny.
I'm not saying from the ground. I'm saying from the table.
Oh, yeah.
God, what you thought? Jeez, this guy. Basketball on the desk would be a good idea. All right. It's a good place to finish. You guys good in there?
Yep.
All right, we're going to go a little early today. I appreciate everybody being here. We'll be back tomorrow. Again, we will have Neil Price on Wednesday. We'll have, hopefully, Richard Williams later in the week. So, should have a good show, a good week of guests. Until next time. Oh, by the way, tomorrow, we're going to have the best bedtime story of all time. The best bedtime story I've ever seen. And also, let's go ahead and get our Jack clips ready. We'll have a shot of Jack from bowl games. We'll do that too. That's what we got to look forward to tomorrow. A bedtime story and a shot of Jack. I think you all know those. I think you all know those are fun times when we have them on the show. Look forward to that tomorrow. Until next time, my name is Brandon Walker. You've been watching more Cowbell, the Mississippi State podcast presented by SEC Country.